Over the years, many people have fallen victim to various scams, and the sad truth is that very little has been done to bring the scammers to justice. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into some of the biggest scams in history. The ones that are so shocking it will make you question if human beings are capable of such evil deeds. Again, welcome to our video where we're going to be uncovering some of the biggest and unimaginable scams in history. You have already known that scammers have been active for centuries, and they are still very much present today. From investment scams to Ponzi schemes, we will take you through the top 5 untold scams and show you just how much damage they have caused. Without wasting your time, let's unreveal the scam number 1, Charles Ponzi's scheme. Charles Ponzi, an Italian immigrant, started one of the biggest investment scams in history, known as the Ponzi scheme. He was a gambler and arrived in Boston with dreams of making it big in America. In 1919, Ponzi promised investors a 50% return on investment in just 90 days, and the scheme grew to the point where he was taking in over $1 million per week. With Ponzi schemes, investors give money to a portfolio manager and are paid out with the incoming funds contributed by later investors. By May 1920, he had made $420,000, which is equal to $6,100,000 in 2022. By June 1920, people had invested $2.5 million in Ponzi's scheme, which was equal to $37 million in 2022. By July, he was approaching $1 million per day. However, it all came crashing down when the scheme was exposed, and Ponzi was sentenced to 5 years in jail. Thousands of investors were left with significant losses, many of whom were ordinary working-class immigrants like Ponzi himself, including his own brother-in-law and chauffeur. It is estimated that his scheme defrauded investors of around $20 million, worth some $200 million today. Many lost their life savings and did suicides in this era. If we talk about the scam which is holding the position of second number, then let's unreveal the Enron scandal. Enron was an energy trading company that rose to great heights in the 90s. The Enron scandal involves Enron duping the regulators by resorting to off-the-books accounting practices and incorporating fake holding. However, the company utilized special-purpose vehicles to hide its toxic assets and large debts from the investors and creditors, and making their stock price skyrocket. When the scandal was exposed in 2001, it led to the company's collapse, thousands of job losses, and significant financial losses for its investors. The Enron scandal is often cited as one of the most significant corporate scandals in history. Scam number 3, Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme is said to be the largest financial fraud in history, with an estimated $64.8 billion lost by investors over the course of at least 17 years. Madoff promised investors high returns, and he went on to collect billions of dollars from investors over several decades. It worked for years until 2008, when the financial crisis caused many clients to ask for their money back. On December 10, 2008, Madoff confessed to his sons Mark and Andrew about the fraud. In court, he pleaded guilty in 2009 and was sentenced to 150 years in prison and died in April 2021 at age of 82. Scam number 4, Fyre Festival. In 2017, entrepreneur Billy McFarland and rapper Ja Rule promised a luxurious music festival in the Bahamas called Fyre Festival. Ticket buyers, who paid between $1,000 and $12,000 to attend, were promised an exotic island adventure with luxury accommodations, gourmet food, the hottest musical acts, and celebrity attendees. According to the documentary, within 24 hours, they'd sold 95% of their tickets, and they then went on to sell out to an estimated 5,000 people. In reality, the festival was a disaster, and many attendees were left stranded, hungry, and without a place to sleep. McFarland pleaded guilty and served almost 4 years of a 6-year sentence behind bars, and was fined $39 million. At the end, let's reveal our last and most interesting scam of today's video, which is known as the Mississippi Bubble. In 1716, French economist John Law created an investment scheme that became known as the Mississippi Bubble. Law promised investors big returns, and the scheme led to the creation of the Mississippi Company. Shares in the company were sold at inflated prices in exchange for national securities. Speculation led France to print more paper money. The bubble burst in 1720, and the market crashed due to a bank run following a drop in the value of French banknotes and Mississippi Company shares. Many homeowners couldn't pay back their loans, leading to defaulted mortgages and millions of foreclosures. By September 1721, share prices of Mississippi Company had dropped to 500 livres, where they had been at the beginning. The rise and fall of the Mississippi Company became known as the Mississippi Bubble. So, there you have it, the top 5 untold scams in history. It's essential to be aware of these scams to avoid falling victim to them. Remember, mouse dies in mousetrap because he didn't realize why the cheese is free. Stay vigilant and stay safe. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more awesome videos like this.